MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning. It is Friday with Scotty Ray and Candace.
It is. It's been a short week for me at my other work, because I stayed off until Thursday, from there. So it just seems like it's kind of been a quick week.
Yeah, it hadn't. Yeah. For the rest of us. But we're not as cold as we thought we would be this morning. It has dropped to 29, wind chill of 20 right now. So don't leave home without the jacket, whatever you do.
Yeah, it is cold, though.
It's burr.
Mm-hmm. Those leather seats on your behind are cold. You sit down, it's like you're sitting on a sheet of ice.
That's why you hit that little button in there if you've got one of them.
I do, but it takes a little while, to
And that's the difference between the cloth and the leather during the winter is, and during the summer too, to make you go ouch, ouch with shorts.
I know if it's like your leg sticks to the seat,
but anyway, the cloth, every time you spill a drink, you've got a new stain.
I know.
We've all done it. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, I do like the leather seats better, but it is cold, so.
I have slung drinks all over a car before. You hit the brakes and it just goes.
I know. And, I don't know about you, but I get so aggravated, these lids that they're using. These cups just seem like they're cheaper made.
You hold them and it collapses.
Yes, it does. I mean, the lids won't stay on good.
I truly believe there's cutbacks. If they cut back on the size of the chicken that you buy down at Cane's, don't think that the cup ain't being made cheaper.
Well, I'm convinced you have to ask for everything now, like even napkins.
Oh, like napkins and kids?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I'm just thinking, why do I not have a napkin? But that's a lot of the time you don't. You got to ask for everything. So anyway.
Okay, Tina Collins, I do not have a steering wheel warmer on my car. Do they actually have those now that turns on?
I have one.
Oh, do we?
It is nice.
Oh, she's been holding out on what her car does.
Yeah, it has that on there, and it is nice.
Yeah, they didn't have that invention on my year model. Long way from it, but that's really neat.
It's got it has the heated seats, but it also has the air conditioned seats in the summertime. Like it blows the air. It can either do just the back or the bottom or something or everything. But
you're just cool and warm at any given time, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, boy, I've got to go look at new cars. I didn't know all this technology was there. I know that some cars they're coming out with, and I guess this is why prices keep going up, but like when somebody pulls up beside you, it'll show on the dash a video of a car approaching you.
Oh, really?
Which is handy.
Yeah. I know if there's a car coming up next to me, I have a little flasher on my side mirror that indicates there's a car coming up. Yeah, it blinks.
And they've even done this to where anybody that's got a four-wheel drive that has that winch that hangs over and you're trying to park in a parking place and not bump that car in front of you, they got cameras now on the front of cars to where you know exactly how close you are to the car where you're parking.
Mine has a little sensor thing that it has like 3 rows of lines, and the closer you get, it adds another line, and it'll beep if you get too close to something, but it doesn't have a camera that shows you that. And I have a backup camera, which would be really good, like you said, if the camera could be on at all times.
Yeah.
Like if you were pulling something, you could see if it was still attached. Like it's supposed to be.
Yeah, cameras are handy there. And that's a neat note that Stephen Wine and McKinney put up. Today marks the 6th anniversary that Neil McCoy has been saying the Pledge of Allegiance every day. No matter where he is. I don't know if you follow Neil McCoy or not, but whatever town he's in, he stops and does the Pledge of Allegiance. If he's got a group of people around him, he gets them to join him doing it. He is a true patriot. I like Neil McCoy. One of the best shows that you will ever see. He is a entertainer. He may not have tons of hits on the radio anymore, but that old boy is good.
I've heard he's really funny too. I've seen him. He has a good personality, it seems like.
Billy's got his beer goggles on. Last of a dying breed. Like all of that. Give me that wink. He's tons of hits, but truly a good guy there. Let's see here. Who else is there? Miss LaWanda is watching. There's a bus stuck across the road on Hand Road. Everyone on the bus is okay. No through traffic. Can't get by. That's on Hand Road here in Lauderdale County.
Okay.
So everybody keep that in mind if you're in that neck of the woods there.
I bet it's cold, though. Goodness sake.
Yeah. And speaking of that, Meridian High School is doing a virtual day due to no heat in the high school. It would be rough at 29 degrees.
Yeah. For sure. Goodness.
As we branch out this morning, we want to say thank you wherever you're watching us from, whether it's here in the Meridian area or far away. And we do have a lot of folks that watch us from different states, and we appreciate y'all.
Yes, we do.
Add a lot to the show every day.
I know, and so dedicated to get up every morning and watch us. Not everybody wants to get up this early, but...
See, Cooksville, 29 degrees right there. Yeah, let us know what your temperature is where you're watching from this morning and see how cold it might be. I just posted a minute ago a picture from Smyrna, Tennessee. Debbie sent that in to me a minute ago of the snow. Huge amounts of snow all over this. Now, I posted a link last night on my Facebook page. I had several questions about Interstate I-65. People that had husbands as truck drivers, could they get home? And I posted a link to that if you want to go back and find that, if you've got someone trying to get to the Meridian area or if you're trying to go somewhere, the conditions of the road. Nashville is a mess.
Is it? I figured it would be.
Through Kentucky. And I saw so many, I've watched so many videos, I've forgotten what states they were in. But people that were sitting on the highways, sitting and waiting, as they sat there, the roads froze, and then the 18-wheelers would just start sliding off the road and then take every car that was with them beside them into the ditch.
Oh, my goodness. That would be so scary.
Whew.
I mean, because if you were on like a hill, or like a real steep hill, that's scary and dangerous. Goodness.
Now, if you've ever been to the Nashville area, you go through Birmingham, and I forget what town that is. It's got that huge hill that you've got to go up on I-65. I can't imagine how bad that thing is right now.
Is it the one that has like the Statue of Liberty?
That's
small
past
statue?
Birmingham.
Okay. I just know that we would pass that all the time.
Yeah, that's on the other side. This is 65. But you go out of Birmingham maybe 40, 50 miles, and it's you're getting right there at the Tennessee line. And it's a hill that's just a huge upgrade. I can't imagine going up or down that during this. So we were blessed, and I've said that a couple of times about the weather in our area. We got a little rain coming in this weekend. It's not going to do much. We're going to do what we call the seesaw effect with weather temperatures over the next 4 to 5 days. So expect people to, get sick. Speaking of that, let's just look at our 7-day forecast so y'all will know how to dress and what to do over the next few days. Let me pull this down. Here it is as we look at this morning. 46 for a high today. We'll get 61 tomorrow. Then we got that rain on Sunday near 70 again. And, we're at 29 right now. 90% chance of thunderstorms, then back to 50 and 29 on Monday night. It's just up and down through the 60s and stuff across the week.
It is. Goodness. I hope people can stay well, though.
It's going to be tough. And there is still a such thing as just a common cold. And you could catch that.
Yes. I know it's probably questionable, though, as to what you think you have. I mean, because everything has the same symptoms. It's just...
Well, you can't help but think the worst.
I know.
Oh, I've got it. But those tests are getting harder and harder to come by.
They are.
Now, Mississippi State, if you're a student of Mississippi State or if you are a teacher at Mississippi State, they're going to be doing, let me find the dates on this, a free day here coming up. I almost got it. I'm almost there. Yeah, on January 13th and 14th and 17th through the 19th in Starkville. If you go to school there, you'll get one free just by spending all that money to go to school there.
Yes. So it's a free drive-through testing site.
Yeah. Be glad you're not the tester.
From 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on those dates.
So there you go. You can find out more about that at MississippiState.com and maybe tell your kids if you want to have them check there. But boy, there's nothing worse than feeling bad, is it? That old drain feeling, you just kind of stare at everything.
I hate for my nose or something to be stopped up where you can't breathe, you can't smell anything, you can't sleep.
Having to breathe through your mouth.
Yes, it's awful. But
let's see. I made it. I had to run to Jackson last night with my daughter, and we made it back alive.
So glad.
Yeah, I wasn't going to let her go over there by herself, so I sat in the back seat and hushed and just rode with it. I just didn't feel comfortable about that.
I wouldn't either. I don't like for mine to go at night, really anywhere, but I worry all the time. I don't think you ever stop worrying as a parent.
No, but you're a worry wart. I mean, you really are.
I am. I worry about stuff that I probably shouldn't worry about, but when it comes to my kids, I constantly worry about them.
What about your husband? You ever worry about him? Like, did he get his lunch? Did you check?
I do worry about him some, yeah.
Some.
He's
We
pretty
heard the word there.
He's He's pretty self-sufficient, so.
I just thought I'd check in on that. Yes. We do hope you're having a wonderful morning as we wake up. 29, as I said, and getting things stirring. And if you've got to go outside, bundle up and use a scarf like Candace does everywhere she goes, where all you see is those eyeballs poking through.
I do like scarves, but with my hair short like this, I don't wear them as much.
As much?
Yeah, because it hits my hair.
Hits your hair messy. You can't have your hair messed up.
Well, it's not that. It pokes my hair up like this, and I look like I got a football helmet on my head.
Get out of here. On the way, we'll tell you about some folks that the Meridian Police Department are looking for, and also an arrest that happened yesterday with a drive-by shooting in Meridian. We can't have that. Well, they've been caught. That's a good thing. That's all on the way here, so don't go anywhere. We're going to fill you in on all the details of that. Right now, we head over to our friends at Godwin Cleaning Services, and they want to get you ready for the springtime. If you haven't gotten your home cleaned, your sidewalks, or your business taken care of, talk to Ryan. They'll help you this. They'll walk you through this with your buildings. If you need an awning cleaned off, yeah, they'll do that. Doesn't take any time at all. That's cloth. They can clean it up like Harry Mayer's, make it look better. From brick to vinyl siding and that old nasty rust that appears on that. Okay. They can do that, including window cleaning. Yeah, you don't hear that much, but they'll do that also. And also fleet washing. If you got a line of cars, they can do that no time flat too. Metal buildings, they'll make those look new again and remove the rust on those, including your roofs. And that way, shingles, slate, or asphalt, any of those, they put it back to the way it looked when it was just hammered on there. Makes your house look fresh again, especially if you're getting ready to sell. Make it look good. See them. That's Godwin Cleaning Services, from rock to brick. They've got the latest equipment to do all of this. See him today. He'll help you there. Again, Godwin Cleaning Services here in Meridian, 601-253-8262. They'll help you and make your place look wonderful again. Get on the list now. Get it all cleaned up.
I was leaving home with a car full of my friends when suddenly we were thrust off of the road. A direct hit from behind. We were involved in a car accident.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
And welcome back as we take a quick look at Kentucky. Here's Kentucky, what the highways look like. That is a mess.
It is. Gosh.
And as soon as they get one pulled out, another would fall into this. They slid. They just got loads of snow.
When you look at the map, which you just kind of scrolled through,
yeah.
I mean, we did just kind of barely get to where we didn't get hit with all that.
It was just a brief second there that we didn't get it as a miracle.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of people stranded in their cars. And, you know, that old thing of better safe than sorry, of packing stuff. And not many people think of it. But if you travel a lot in your car, put your little extra snacks and food in a bag in there. Mm-hmm. Now, here's something I don't agree with. I-65, this was I-95 is where this happened. You take a cab. Okay, it's an Uber. And you get stuck in the snowstorm, you would think that the meter would be turned off.
Yeah, you would think.
It didn't happen. The guy got out of it. He was stuck in there for 9 hours, and he was charged $600 for his cab ride.
I think I'd say, good luck, buddy, getting that. That's crazy and ridiculous.
So I don't know. I'm sure he's going to fight it.
Yeah.
Originally, he paid $200, and they added $400 to his bill. And, of course, they had his credit card information, so they took it directly out of his account.
He might have a hard time getting that back.
Yeah, I don't know who will win on that, but it makes them look bad.
You know, talking about this being stuck on, you know, the stuff we talked about the other day about Virginia, when all these people were stuck on the interstate. I saw a thing yesterday, and it was talking about, what if all these cars were electric cars? Oh. You know, there would be no way to get a charger to all these cars to charge them back up, like if they died, the batteries died. So what would you do? And they said that would just be a barrier, like for anybody trying to get through. You wouldn't be able to get through.
And I don't know much about electric cars, but my next question would be, how long is a battery good for sitting in? Don't those cars turn off? You know, like those new cars now that, you know, if you don't push a button.
Stop sign, they'll cut off and cut back on when you get ready to go.
I think those turn off to save those batteries. Wouldn't you, like, brr?
I mean, yeah, I would think so.
Somebody would have to tell me more than I know about this.
Yeah, I don't think they've really thought that whole thing through.
That's right.
And there's just a lot of scenarios that you could be stuck in, and it would not be good to have an electric vehicle.
This Joyce Godwin says in Murfreesboro today, 14 degrees right now, and the high is going to be 27 degrees there. Okay, I'm glad I'm where I'm at.
Yeah.
I hope y'all got that heat bill paid up.
Yeah.
Can you imagine running out of heat, gas, or your electricity going off in that?
No. We've been turning on the heat in our camper just to try to keep it warm in there. Try to keep it from any pipes freezing up or anything.
All right, the hill that I was talking about there in Tennessee, Wayne and Dolores Roberts says that hill is called Lake Con Mountain, where you're going up that huge hill there in Tennessee on 65. Golly.
Goodness.
I was scanning here what everybody's been saying about this. Yeah, also somebody else mentioned that, yeah. Mm-hmm. Good morning. And Gilbertown, Alabama watching. Greg Beard, thank you for joining in. 29 in Clarkdale community this morning we're getting.
Goodness. 11 degrees in Michigan.
Whoa, Denise, you better get some big-time electric blankets there.
Yeah. I would hate to be in 11-degree weather. This is bad enough. Good morning, Charlene Etheridge.
She said Neil was in a very cold state. She watched him do the pledge yesterday. You know, he even done it that morning that his tour bus caught on fire and burned to the ground. The fire department was there, and he got them to do the Pledge of Allegiance with it. That was a real neat morning there.
It is so nice to see people who are proud to be Americans, because you have so many people in this country right now that just try to run it down.
It is.
They don't like living here. I don't understand what keeps them here, but
it used to be when you joined or become a citizen of the United States, you left. There's nothing wrong with being proud where you come from, but you adapted and became a part of what our society is. Now it is you bring whatever you're doing and try to get the United States to become a part of where you come from.
Right.
That's backwards.
Trying to change everything. I mean, if people don't like being here, I mean, there's always transportation to get you out of here.
Merle said it.
Instead of trying to make everybody else miserable as you are, just...
If you don't love it, leave it, is what Merle Haggard said, and I agree with him. 29 we're getting from Porterville, Mississippi. Miss Gail Gafford went out in her nightgown and measured that for us. We appreciate that. Your neighbors did, too.
Yes. Bruce Aiken, good morning. He's watching this morning. Amy Pygott. And Jeremiah Johnson, good morning. Charlotte
Gray tuning in from all the way up in Philadelphia. Appreciate that. 29, where's this at? Cooksville. 29 there this morning. Collinsville, Wanda's there. Checking here. And don't forget about that school bus we mentioned earlier.
Yes, on Hand Road. They said that it was a school bus. I guess I'm sure they've notified people. So
Lily Hampton watching from DeKalb, Mississippi. We appreciate that also.
Terry Carter, good morning from Preston, Mississippi.
Yeah, a few of the things there. And we have to, and I mentioned this, I posted it yesterday. And, every now and then somebody deserves that a good deed. Of that I-95, when all that traffic was stopped and stalled, a truck driver was sitting there. He had they were there for 2 days?
A long time. I mean, without food or water, a lot of them.
Yeah. So he opened up the back of his rig and started handing out loaves of bread. He had 500 loaves of bread. He made it a 2-mile stretch back and forth from his truck, handing out loaves of bread for people that didn't have anything to eat. And kudos to him.
Yeah.
His name was Ron Hill of Hartford County for the Smith Baking Company.
Because, I mean, I don't know. He was probably just a transporter of this bread. He probably ended up having to pay for it.
May have.
But still, that was such a nice thing that he did.
Yeah, because that could have saved a life. Because I can't tell you the times I've left and had nothing in a vehicle to eat or anything. Just not thought about it.
And a loaf of bread, I mean, that could last you a while. So.
Yeah, you run out of cracklings. I love having them in a vehicle on a trip.
Yeah.
Getting peanuts all in the floorboard. Who loves that? Can't help but do that. But that's a good deed, and he deserves to be patted on the back.
Yes.
Our next story, I mentioned this at 6:30, is we go to Mobile, Alabama. And I guess you had to be there to see it, but sometimes people think, well, I'd like to have that at the house.
Right.
And so he just backed his car up, took a chain, and hooked to the bleachers at the football place and drug them down the highway toward home.
When I saw MPD, I thought Meridian, but it's Mobile.
Mobile Police Department.
Yeah, if you try to steal something, most people would be discreet.
Yeah. He done this at lunchtime. He didn't wait until the middle of the night to do it or go get a trailer like a smart thief would do. He's not accused of that.
No, never mind the sparks probably flying off from the bottom. The legs of the bleachers dragging. Did you show the picture?
No, I did not. I didn't show the picture. But that's one of those things. He was caught, and they returned the bleachers where they belonged. He's down in the Mobile jail now.
I wonder why he was like trying to steal bleachers. I mean, was he in that need of bleachers?
I have really, really tried to think. I look at cases every day of why people do so, and I can't reason with it. And I guess because I'm not a criminal, but I have a hard time figuring out why people do things. Now, let's move on to the next thing that we have. This happened yesterday just off of B Street, 3rd Avenue here in the Meridian area. I got several texts of, hey, what's going on? There's cops everywhere here. Well, after I got into investigating it, it was a drive-by shooting in Meridian. And as we go to this, Todd Kemp, a bolo went out from all the police departments. This is a Chevy Cruze. It's white. Here's the tag number. He's roughly 29 to 30-something years old, driving the car. Shotgun still on the seat. Sheriff Todd Kemp got in pursuit, also Choctaw County, and they made the arrest. Here's the car as they pulled him over right there. And as you can still see, the sawed-off shotgun still laying there next to the Huggy boots. He has been arrested. Let's go back and take a look. He was arrested, brought back to Meridian, and has now been transported to DeKalb to the jail up there. And here's our gentleman right here. Jeffrey E. Jones, 38 years old, male. Aggravated assault is what he's charged with, and use of a deadly weapon. And off the record, I can't back this up. I'm told it was a dispute possibly over scrap metal is what they were fighting over, arguing over. They were kinfolks.
Yeah.
And he shot at his kin. Hate that happened. But the Meridian Police Department now has that in custody. That's great that he's been captured. And a big thank you to Choctaw County and Clark County for catching the guy. You really don't need that on the streets. Also, MPD needs your help. This was a robbery on December the 30th at 4308 8th Street. These two gentlemen thought they could just walk into the Dollar General and get what they wanted. So they made their way in, and, well, they got handfuls of stuff. And here's the second gentleman. If you happen to recognize any of them, contact Crime Stoppers. They'd love to hear from you. And let's see if we can't get them a free visit to the Kemper County Neshoba facility there. You can call 855-485-8477. That's Crime Stoppers. I think they give you a little something there if what you tell them gets somebody arrested. Anything I can turn you in for? I need a little extra Christmas cash.
I don't think so.
So would you make a good dog the bounty hunter?
I might. I don't know. I can find out stuff pretty good.
Some people are good at that.
I was told one time I should have been a private investigator. But.
Oh, Lord. I bet you were, heck. Also, let's see. Speaking of, somebody said it's 29 degrees now in Philadelphia. Ooh. It was probably lower earlier, and you're right. I'm sure it was. Warmed up to 30 in Meridian, Marshall says. Agree with that statement. We have more people under arrest in Neshoba County in Philadelphia. And we brought this story to you a few weeks back. December the 27th is when the shooting happened. An innocent man was killed in Philadelphia. He was in his home. And I want to say, if I read this right originally, that a pizza was being delivered to his house. A drive-by shooting happened among gang members, and he was collateral damage. He was hit and he died on the way to the hospital. They have now grand total of 12 people arrested from that night's shooting. 7 of them charged with murder, but a total of 12 people in Philadelphia arrested. You can find out more about that in the Neshoba Democrat.
It's so sad. Because, everything I've heard it said that he was such a good guy.
Yeah. I think he worked out of the casino. So condolences go out to them and all that. We still haven't gotten a capture in Meridian of the 5-year-old that was killed in a drive-by shooting.
Yeah.
We still pray for his family. You know they're dealing with that. It's got to be awful.
That would just be heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know him, and it just breaks my heart, you know. But
again, if you hear, but people are terrified to talk, because if you go tell something, those same people that done that drive-by come by for a visit at your house, and that's why there's not. I didn't see anything happen.
But
Nope,
the
didn't
bad
see it.
thing is, you cannot even be involved. You could not even know. And these people who do things like this, they're so insensitive to anybody else, or they don't care.
Yeah.
That innocent people get killed all the time. You know?
It is.
So, it could be you. Even if you don't speak up, it could still be you. So
Jefferson Davis County, Mississippi, we find the lowest of the low in Mississippi. 2 have been arrested for kidnapping and raping a 2-year-old little girl. That's Jefferson County, Mississippi. We hope that there is a place for them to go and they don't get out.
Yeah.
There's
definitely a place waiting on them.
Yes.
A special place waiting on them one day.
So that happened. And speaking of people that do weird things like that, we bring up, remember the Subway guy, Jared?
Oh, yes.
Mr. I lost all this weight, and let's just bring back that picture if you hadn't seen him in years. Here's what he looked like, and let's see what other pictures of him. That's what he started out like, lost all the weight there. And then he got the contract with them, and then come to find out he was after kids. He was arrested. His wife left him. He lost everything that he had. But he says he's doing well and he feels sorry for what he done. And he's in the best shape of his life as he goes to the gym 2 to 3 times a day in prison.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Luxuries with behind the bars.
Yep, Jared.
People who are, a lot of people who are behind bars have it better than people that never done any kind of crimes and just trying to make it every day.
So I thought I'd update you on him. We hadn't heard from him in a long time. I don't know how many more years he has on his sentence, but it's not long enough.
Yeah.
But he was hit by an FBI sting. A lady he'd made contact with, and he was trying to get to her children. And she played along with the police, and he was arrested. There's no telling how many he got away with that we don't know about.
I think I'd have had to have a moment with him.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who thought
if
that.
If it was my kid he was trying to be after.
You remember the truck driver? We keep bringing this guy up that accidentally killed 5 or 6 people. His brakes went out on his truck. He was sentenced to 110 years. A petition was put out. It was over 4 million people that signed it. The governor of Colorado steps in and reduces his sentence to 10 years. Now the judge is going, why'd you do that? He's mad at him.
Yeah.
He said, he was coming back to my courtroom, and I don't appreciate you doing that. So there's some fallout in between the judge and the governor of Colorado. I don't know much about the governor of Colorado. I know that Colorado has gone, for the most part, they even tried to separate parts of Colorado and form a new state.
Really?
They didn't get enough votes, but they tried, because you take the larger cities that lean to the left, and then there's the open country of Colorado that think like Middle America, and they wanted to be separate. They didn't get enough votes to handle it because of, its population. It's all broke down, how many people vote, and they didn't have a chance to get that. So Colorado, back in the news there.
I definitely think the sentence should have been reduced.
Yes.
From 100 years. Goodness.
Now, as we look at our next story, don't believe everything that you read, because there's a lot of people that are against former President Trump. They don't like him because he was shaking up, the swamp, as he put it, when he was in office. Melina's ex-chief of staff says there's at least 15 aides that are plotting to stop his election. Oh, and I sort of believe this. I think that 15 is probably a low number. There's probably more like 500 to 600 that are behind the scenes trying to stop him from running.
Oh, yeah. They're trying to use, the 14th Amendment to stop people that they don't want running from, for any kind of office. I'm not sure what that entails about the 14th Amendment. I'm going to look that up today. But they're trying to use it.
He was never convicted of anything, so they cannot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as they try to do it, Tucker Carlson goes after Ted Cruz.
I saw that.
For branding the Capitol riot a violent terrorist attack. I didn't know Ted had said that.
Well, he did say that it was a terrorist attack, and it was right after everything happened. And of course, last night he was trying. When I saw the interview last night, he was trying to
back up from it.
He was, but he was trying to explain why he said it. He didn't mean it in the sense, I guess, that everybody else thought he meant it. But
Tucker ain't taking no punches. He's after him. As Bill said, that Tucker did a great job. I didn't see it last night. I have not made it back to the house yet. we'll see what happens with that. Ted really wants to be your president, but we all know there's no way that Ted would ever get the nomination, that he wouldn't get elected. He's a good guy. I like him for the most part, but he'll never get elected.
Well, I watched yesterday as Kamala Harris spoke and then the president spoke.
As a matter of fact, you turned that on after we got out.
Yeah,
and,
I watched the rest of it on, I listened to it really my car.
It was hard to listen to.
Well, it was just a lot of mudslinging and just a lot of, just talk. And her comparing, she really set a lot of people off when she compared the January 6th thing to 9/11 and all of that. I mean, really set a lot of people off because let's be honest, it was not anything near something, about like 9/11. I mean, it was not anything near as bad as that. And there were thousands and thousands of people killed.
Yeah, it was. And
it was a definite terrorist attack. I think it was a lot of people that probably were caught up in the moment. A lot of troublemakers. Yeah. I'm not convinced that it wasn't a setup. I don't know that.
That's our opinion.
It's just a lot of people who think a lot of different things, could have happened. But I definitely don't think it should have been compared to that. But she set a lot of people off. But it was a lot of mudslinging. It was just a lot of, to me, childish stuff said, about Trump and just everything.
They don't like him and they don't want you to vote for him and they know they're in trouble.
Well, it was like, and it was like Newt Gingrich last night. I was listening to him and he said, it's just like somebody like that to sit there and bash and mudsling. And then at the end of the thing, let's all work together, I mean, you don't do that. I mean, how do you win people over by bashing somebody and then say, let's all work together?
She was the first one out, that's all I know, if y'all remember. Alan Dover said, look at Section 2 of the 14th Amendment. We'll have to look that up because I'm not familiar with what that says. We'll have to glance at that. The seventh person has left her entourage of Kamala. Another aide is gone. That makes number 7 that has left with declining numbers. Something to think on there. More coming up with Scotty Ray Candace as it's already 8:32. Woo! Time is flying this morning. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville has these great savings this week. Florida strawberries, $3.99 a pound. Fresh Halos, 3-pound bag, $6.99. Chicken of the Sea tuna, a 5-ounce can, only 99 cents. A 15-ounce can of Hormel chili, $2.19. Post Fruity Pebbles, 11-ounce box, 2 for $5. And certified Angus beef top sirloin family pack, $4.99 a pound.
We're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray Candace. Did you find the Section 2?
Let's see. Section 2.
She's got good eyes and she can read that little bitty stuff.
It's a long thing to read.
Okay, well, we'll glance over it a
I'll try
little
to
bit.
look at it and see in just a little while.
So as we move forward with this, a lot of news happening this morning. We're glad that you joined us. Yes. All right, each day at this time, we go back and take a look at things that happened in history. Don't forget, over the weekend, tomorrow would be Elvis's birthday. And I think there ought to be a national holiday. Who agrees with me?
Yeah.
Elvis, one of the greatest there ever was. Let's see here. Also, I'm going to say somebody else was having. Crystal Gale has a birthday tomorrow. You've been talking in your sleep? Busted.
Don't you make my brown eyes blue?
Oh, love that woman. They even wore a shirt like that in Talladega Nights. Crystal Gale. The longest hair there was. But she has a birthday tomorrow also. So happy birthday to both of those. Let's go back now and take a look. Let's head back to, 1789. Most folks go, boy, that's a long time ago. I don't care what happened then. Yeah, you do. It was the first presidential election held on this date, George Washington. A man among men, no matter what they tell you. He was a godly man, and he led our country and could have led it in a different direction. Do not let people change history. He was a good man. It was 1950, and you think, well, Christmas is over. It's January the 7th. But it was huge in 1950 and still being played on the radio. It was the number one song, and we still sing it today. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
It's an iconic song.
It is.
Yeah.
And it
Always
was
got to sing that at Christmas.
And all of that was started out as a commercial. Someone needed a commercial for a department store. And a guy wrote the story, a little story about it, and then the song came from that. Interesting as you go back and look at things.
It is.
But Gene Autry, he was the cowboy man. Who remembers hanging around a party crowd? David Lee Murphy has a birthday today. Remember him? Born in 1959.
I do remember him.
He was also a songwriter, but Party Crowd was his biggest country single of his career. So
I didn't realize he was that old. I mean, he's not old, but I didn't realize.
Listen at her.
I didn't realize that's not old, but I didn't realize he was that age.
Candace
age. I'm not going to use the word old.
Candace just said if you were born in 1959, you're old.
I did not.
I heard it.
That old.
Old Bossy said it.
Okay, I can say my 7-year-old is that old.
That ain't
I mean,
how you
he's
said it, though.
old.
You go, golly, he's old.
Well, I guess it did sound bad. That's not how I meant it. I didn't realize he was that age.
There you go.
How about that?
She's trying to correct that.
I don't think it's old by any means.
A few years later, or before that, 2 years before that, I put them I didn't put them in order. 1957, you would like her for a little while, and then we would learn that, well, she wasn't what we thought she was. 1957, Katie Couric was born. Did I pronounce her last name, or did she change her name the way she pronounced it later?
No, I think that's right.
Katie. Miss, there she is there.
Yeah, she kind of went off the deep end. Like,
Right.
really.
Yeah, and then her housekeeper told
Telling
all the
all.
story about her not taking baths on weekend. I went, whoa, you dirty thing. Learned too much about her.
I don't understand that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, got to have a bath.
Got to have some good hygiene.
Yeah, I like having 2 or 3 a week.
A week.
1964, I really like this guy, and he had such a Elvis fascination that at one time he did marry Lisa Marie. They stayed married for a very short time.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage was born on this date. Boy, I love all those. I wish they would make more. If they can make 25 of those things with Van Diesel, how come we can't have another one of these treasure movies?
He's a good actor, but his voice just kind of gets
You don't like it?
on my nerves.
So that would mean he's not a good actor to you if he gets
No,
on
he
your
does
nerves.
act good, but it's just.
But it's a
I don't
whole...
know. I think it's not so much when he's acting; it's just like when he's interviewed or
Yeah.
something, and the way he talks.
How do you feel about Sean Connery? Did you like his voice?
Yeah. I used to like to watch him. His voice
Sean?
was kind of. It was kind of.
But that's what made
Neat.
Sean Connery.
I liked his voice. It wasn't that bad, but when I had heard some different things about him about being like male chauvinist. I don't know if that was
Sean?
That's what I heard.
What's wrong with that? I mean, come on, Candace. Sometimes you got to be told to do something.
Okay, moving on.
I have heard those. I think all that was made up about Sean.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was.
I liked
guess you
him.
shouldn't. I like his acting though. He did do a good job.
So, I want to go there, but I'm going to back off.
What?
I was just going to say, like, if your husband asked you, go get me a sandwich, you'd go, like, get all mad and call him a chauvinist?
No, I mean, but I don't think he'd say, "Go get me a sandwich." You know.
Which means she's got him trained.
No, I just don't. I don't. No, I don't like being told what to do.
Oh, I can tell.
you know,
I think everybody sees that.
You know, no, I just think you can nicely ask. I mean, I don't think he would do that.
But, you know, like when I'm in the
had
middle
done
of
it.
something, I sometimes, you know, if I'm really focused on what I'm doing, I don't think about just, hand me this, do that.
That's different.
Yeah, sandwich.
No.
See how it come
No,
out?
if you're working on something, hand me that screwdriver, hand me that hammer, go get me a sandwich. That's a lot different.
Really?
Go get me a sandwich.
Linda Jane, where are you when I need you, girl? But that was said about Sean Connery at one time.
I don't know if it was true. I don't know. And John Talbot is just keeps calling me bossy.
He's right. I agree with him.
I'm not bossy.
1974, this next guy would come along, and he was different, really different. They come out with a song called Ride a Horse, Save a Cowboy. John Rich, and of course now he's on Fox News nearly all the time. Singer, songwriter, entrepreneur.
It's save a horse. Yeah.
Yeah. What did I say?
You said ride a horse, save a cowboy.
Oh, right.
Save a horse.
Yeah, I had it backwards, didn't I?
Yeah.
Rump row. Good catch there. I sometimes get things confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. Let's see here. I didn't own one of these. And in 1992, I think the $1,500 that we did save, we went and bought a camcorder. We did, because Dylan was being born in 94, and we saved up, and we ran down and bought one of those. It was about yay big,
The big
and
ones,
and had the tape, and it took 3 people to tote it. But we filmed everything Dylan Ray done, and then when Madison would come along 3 years later, we didn't even want to tote it. He was like,
Yeah.
golly, it weighs too much. But we didn't own this. But in 92, AT&T released the video phone for homes. I didn't know that. That was a world that we didn't live in.
I didn't have one of those.
But for $1,500, you could stare at somebody else that had the same phone.
That's neat, though.
I didn't know that was
Makes you
available.
notice it. Talk about like camcorders and video camera. We had it was a camera, but I think it did videos too, but you put like a floppy disk in the side of
Yep.
it. Do you remember those?
Yes, I had a camera.
We got a ton of floppy disks that's got pictures all on it.
I've
from
got a thing that you plug into your computer and put your floppy disk in and can transfer if you need to borrow it.
Yes, because I have a ton of those. I have
do.
pictures of my kids on, when they were little on those. I'd love to get that. Yeah.
Betsy Holly, I agree with you. She says she loved Nicolas Cage in the movie Guarding Tess, and that was. Did you see that?
I did not.
Tess was an ex-president's wife.
Okay.
And he was Secret Service, and his part was guarding her, and she didn't like him, and it was such a touching little show.
Okay. Well, I'll have to maybe watch that.
Thumbs up there on my scale of you should watch it. 2020, they had planned a goodbye tour. They'd been together for 20 years. I was in Nashville when I got a text message that said, hey, come over to such and such address. We got a new group that we want you to see. We're going to let them perform this morning. So I loaded up and I ran over there, and it was these guys. It was Rascal Flats, and they disbanded a year ago today. They had planned a goodbye tour, but COVID shut that down, and they didn't get to do their goodbye tour.
So they're no longer together then.
Supposedly. Now, you know how people don't let that last long.
I watched that. You don't hear much from the lead singer guy about stuff about him. We know that the guy on the right,
Joe
in
Don.
the picture, was arrested for DUI.
DUI.
The one on the left in the back, he was on that Chrisley Knows Best show.
Really?
Yeah, Todd Chrisley and his wife are friends with this guy and his wife, and I don't know about him.
A little odd.
Yeah, I mean he kind of.
Peculiar is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Huh.
Got a little different.
Gary, this guy here is a big deer hunter. If you didn't know that, he is a super nice guy. He really is.
Yeah.
But you want to talk about somebody that has an incredible voice. I miss Mayberry. I mean, they really had some great songs together.
They did.
Joe Don was kind of the wow one of the bunch. So be it. They made headlines with it. But that's a little trip down memory lane. Maybe you remember a few of these things this morning. And I never knew that they appeared on. I hadn't watched Chrisley, or is it Grizzly or Chrisley?
Chrisley.
Yeah, I hadn't
It is
watched
a funny
that.
show. Now it's real. I think it's a lot of it's scripted,
Oh, it has to be.
But it's really funny. But no, the guy seems like a super nice guy. The guy that was, I can't remember what his name is. That I said that
the daddy?
was friends with.
Oh, okay.
The couple that was friends with. Seems like a real nice guy, but he just seemed like he had a lot in common with Todd. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the same mannerisms, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll have
Anyway,
to-
it's still a good show.
Have to see that episode. Let's head over to the Lauderdale County Co-op. They've been doing this since 1932, finding the key to the front door and opening it up just for you. They've got a lot going on inside. From getting your plants and things ready for the spring, and that's going to be not far from long right now. It's right around the corner there. And to keep warm in this 29-degree weather, they've got gloves right here. This is the Candace special. Drop in and ask them about those.
Look, people are going to come in and go, I need those gloves that look like socks. Yeah, they really will help you if you are in need.
They may even come up with some battery-operated gloves. See them. Toboggans and a whole lot more to keep those ears warm there for you. And they've got it all there, from T-shirts to blue jeans. If you are looking for a pair of coveralls, or maybe you need a set of Carhartts to keep warm, insulated, they got those. Blue jeans, hats, even these little vesties there that you want to keep your arms loose where you can work around in the mud outside.
Kurt loves those.
You got more freedom.
Well, I mean, they're really warm. You would think they wouldn't be with us sleeveless, but they're really warm.
I get chilly just thinking about it. We got work boots for you there also. If you need to get in some mud, they got those to go all the way up to your kneecaps. And if you need just a regular steel toe work boot, they got that. Georgia boots, they're great. Anything that it comes to deer season. Getting your deer hooked on corn, feeders? Oh, maybe you need a new blind. They've got that for you there, including, well, let's see here, some more cameras, the old SD card along with those that come to your phone. All of this, scales, including corn, and taking care of your horse and cattle. Got to do that with some Sweet Feed. See them today for your pets, your guns, your ammo. It's all at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. See them today. They'll help you.
I was returning from a visit with my family when my car was completely destroyed by a truck that ran a red light. I was unable to work, and I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
I'm Janet from Jackson, Mississippi, and it took one call, that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz. He got me $377,250.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. One last political thing that went on yesterday. Liz Chaney, the only elected Republican, her dad joined her for Nancy's moment of silence yesterday. She did join them in Nancy's little moment of silence there at the Capitol. And no other Republicans were there. But here's a picture of that scene there. There she is right there. Everybody else is Democrats in there.
Yeah.
She's not real popular in the Republican Party right now. Just saying, in case you're keeping up with politics.
I don't think not.
What happens when thieves break into a house, they take your phone, you can't call the police, and you're zip tied up? Well, technology has changed. It was two girls that were hired to take care of somebody's house, kind of like a house sitter. Mm-hmm. And this went on, it was in L.A., and this is what they had to do. Let me show you this picture. They had to bounce around and jump up and down and get in front of the doorbell ring thing to show that they had been zip tied. And the owner saw it on their phones, and they contacted police, and they were cut loose and saved. Mm-hmm. Fortunately, they were not harmed. But that could have turned out bad.
It could. Goodness.
Now, we've never had anything like that happen in our neck of the woods, and I hope that is not something that ever comes here.
Me too.
Boy.
It's bad.
Super Bowl, that's around the corner. Of course, I don't watch NFL anymore, and I think there's a lot of people that agree with me of why I don't watch it. They just crossed a line that I felt shouldn't have been crossed. Mm-hmm. But for those of you that do still watch it, they're looking at moving it from Los Angeles to Dallas, and they're calling it the Free State of Texas is why. And it's because of COVID, to where you can still walk around without a mask and not be told what to do is why they're looking at moving it to Texas. They'll be making a decision on that pretty soon. Think of the revenue that they would lose in L.A. compared to being in Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
A lot. Hopefully by then, when this plays out, I keep hearing this Omicron thing is about a 2-week high, and then it will get better. We're hoping this goes down.
Yeah.
I'm also hearing that, and I've got a story on it somewhere, the Moderna, that most likely on down the road there's going to be a booster shot for that because this thing keeps developing into other mutants, and I don't know if I'm using the right word. I need another doctor to come in with us one morning and talk with us about this, but it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if masks even help against this Omicron. From what I was told, the droplets are so fine they can get through something like a mask. You remember
in the beginning they said, don't wear one. Mm-hmm. Don't do it. And then, they do it, and now it's not so much.
I just think everybody's kind of just flying by the seat of their pants on this. They really don't know. I don't think anybody knows any hard facts about what to do or what not to do. I think they're just kind of guessing at a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that is happening.
But even with boosters and vaccines, I don't think they 100% know.
No, they don't.
So
I want to show you this. This happened in Florida, and I'm going to pull this up. This was a lady that was sitting on a bench waiting for a bus or something like that. Somebody comes up behind her with shoelaces and tries to strangle her. And they would have succeeded if a passerby didn't have stopped. And we always say, if you see something wrong, do something about it. And he jumped to the action. This is what happened to her. Let me pull this up and hit play on this so you can see this. This is the lady that you're looking at right here. He's taking his shoelaces off.
Looking around, checking, make sure.
And here he goes. Now, is that not awful?
A shoelace now. That would be.
And I try to think, and now he's hitting her. Why would somebody even want to do this? It puzzles me. And here's the guy that comes to the action. He's trying to help, and thank goodness he did come along. So that's sort of what went on there. But you think about that.
It's so disturbing when I watch stuff like that. It's just like you want to jump in and help somebody, you know.
In my mind, honestly, I cannot wrap around how somebody would want to do that to begin with.
I don't know. I mean, unless he knew her or unless he was set up to do that by somebody else. I mean, why? I guess there's just evil people in the world that just randomly want to hurt people. But
we go to our next story, which involves Amazon. Everybody's bought something from there. I don't care who you are. But how do illegal people get jobs when Americans need jobs? It sometimes puzzles me. But they've arrested one. He dumped about 600 unopened packages on the side of an Oklahoma road and has sold hundreds more that were supposed to be delivered for Christmas. Here he is. This is who they've arrested. Here's the picture from that. I don't. Again, supposed to be able to show your ID. Like when I hired people when I worked in Texas, you had to show ID and you ran it through a system to make sure that they were an American citizen before you hired them.
Yeah.
Not every state does that.
Obviously, yeah. But, I mean, that's just like, I don't know if they know and they're not checking it or just allowing it. But like the guy who's in prison that got the $1,400 check that we talked about. I mean, stuff like that happening. It's
just like somebody at the government is like a free will. Do whatever you want.
But they were warned a year ago or more that this was going to happen. If some kind of a bill went through and it was approved that this was going to happen. And it is. It's happening. He's not the only one. They said that I don't know if it was the brothers who did some other kind of bombing or something, that they had received $3,000, I want to say already, maybe, in checks. It's crazy to me.
Brian Troy said that video was probably a hit gone wrong because somebody wanted to take her out. And Lawanda, thank you for, I was trying to stumble around and say the word a while ago, mutations is what I was trying to say. Denise said they need to stay in California and keep their way of thinking away from our area. And I tend to believe that also. Here's the problem that's going to happen. You've got California, New York, all these people that exited and went to other states. Will they blame because they were getting tired of what was happening there? Will they still keep those same beliefs though, and go to a new state and change them? That's a question I can't answer. But we'll watch that and see what happens with it. As we turn to talk about our friends, you've heard me talk about them before, the Precast Group. They do such a wonderful job taking care of you when it comes to, well, keeping you safe. And that's what they want to do with the Precast Group. Made right here in Meridian, if you need a storm shelter, they're going to work extra hard for you. They do it every day. They build these. They can put it on your slab as your house is being built. You have that as a closet. Any way you want to. Design the inside with the seats and put what you want in there. Maybe you need one that's designed a little different to be buried in the ground. However, and whatever the case is, very affordable. Call them, 482-0003. We're right in the middle of this tornado season that will last to nearly June in the Deep South. Be prepared. Don't be worried. Let them handle this for you. See them. Protect your family. 482-0003. See the different mini models they've got there. They'll help you out there. Very affordable. Again, the Precast Group here in Meridian.
I'm JC from Starkville, Mississippi, and it took one call, and that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz, and he got me $200,000.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
And welcome back. Technology never seems to end, does it?
I know. Sometimes it's good, and sometimes it kind of is not so good, I think.
We worry about the American farmer. You think back when John Cougar Mellencamp come up with the song Rain on the Scarecrow. A lot of farmers lost their farms. Equipment is unreal what it costs to operate a farm. John Deere is coming out with a driverless tractor. I'm not kidding about this. Now, I've heard of it, but I've never seen one. The future of farming is going to be controlled by an iPhone. Now, they claim that even if an animal was to run out in front of the tractor, it would stop on its own. Here's a picture of it. Oh, look at this. That's pretty doggone neat, isn't it?
It is neat, but, as we know, things can malfunction.
They can.
Your phone can malfunction. So what happens when that happens? I mean, does it just shut it down or does it keep on going? And I don't know. It is a neat thing, though.
I'd like to ask them.
Yeah.
I'd like to know more about that. See, there's it shows there that if an animal comes in touch with it, it stops. Huh. So, but technology is taking us, and before long, that next invention will be a lawnmower to mow your grass. But how will that work? Because we all got junk in our yard.
I know. We do.
That piece of metal that only you know about, sticking up out of the ground that's been there for 20 years that you've been digging up, but you never got around to it.
Or somebody fishes down by the pond and you leaves fishing line wadded up and you get it under your lawnmower. That's aggravating.
Huh, it sounds like you've had that issue before.
Yes.
There you go. They're still looking for the man that killed the rapper in Tennessee. Do you remember when that happened in Memphis?
I do remember something about that, yeah.
They are looking for this guy. They've released a mugshot, and they believe this is the gentleman that killed him. I don't know much about the rap scene or music, but from what I've read, this guy had done a lot and gave back to the community in Memphis and was kind of like the shining star of that era, of that neighborhood. Had done a lot for the folks, and then he was gunned down in a cookie store.
I do remember that, yes, about the cookie store.
We hope that his killer or killers are brought to justice. And that's just the same. I watched a lot of the videos of when it happened, when the cops were coming to the scene. Awful there. I'm not sure if we had a chance to mention this yesterday, but Venmo, I know me and you talked about it, but I'm not sure we did on here. The US of A government, if you sell things on PayPal, if you're on eBay, anything that you use Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App, and it's over $600, you now have to report that as earnings to the US of A government.
Now, what I want to know is it, okay, $600 altogether? And I think I just saw that. It says $600 in 1 year. So that would be altogether, right? Because I was thinking it would be per transaction.
But this is
a total of $600. We all know that there are people out there all the time, every day, who sell clothes on the internet.
Yeah.
Like they're used clothes. They want to get rid of their stuff, get new stuff. They sell them. People buy them, and they do this with Cash App and Venmo and all this. So it's really this is ridiculous to me. Though.
The only thing I can tell you is go to cash sales. But they really want to make this to where we are a digital. They want this to happen later on so they can track everything you do. We'll watch these stories as they come out. But that's the latest move there. So if you've got a business that you do a lot of things online.
A lot of people just sell their furniture. I mean, who doesn't know somebody that sold a couch for $500 or $600?
Yeah.
Or $100. You sell furniture. You got to pay. What do you pay taxes on it? I guess
that's exactly what they want. Rump row. They're really going after those millionaires, like Joe said, aren't they? Going after that little guy who's trying to get by and put an extra piece of steak at the end of the week in his family.
Yeah. So will that be on this year's taxes?
It'd be this coming 22, from what I understand.
Okay.
That's a few of the things that are shaking loose across America today. We didn't get to everything by any means. We had a columnist who quit their job, thought they were going to run for governor of Oregon, and he finds out after he quit his job to run, well, you have to be a resident of that state for 3 years, so he quit his job for no reason. Rump row.
Goodness.
Good luck to them.
Yeah.
We haven't. If you've got any community events coming up in your neighborhood, let us know about it. January is a little slow as things get back to normal. It's cold. Not a lot of people want to do outside things. But if you've got an event coming up, let us know about it so we can tell others and you can have a larger crowd.
And, of course, Valentine's Day is coming up next month. So a lot of people have little banquets.
I sure hope you get something.
Yeah.
I'm pulling for you.
I hope I do, too.
A rose or a box of candy.
I think my husband's pretty good with stuff like that. I'm sure he'll step up.
Step up. Good luck to you, Kurt. I feel for you there. I walk by and go, hey, isn't it Valentine's Day? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what happens after 30 years.
You need to put me in charge of your buying gifts.
I never was. I was never good at that. I tried, but I was not good at it. And she gave up on it years ago, and now I'm forgiven. Well, we thank y'all for coming by. We're going to be back, Monday?
Yeah, Monday morning, 8 a.m., bright and early.
Join us.
Yeah.
You have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you then.
Scotty Ray's weather is brought to you by